What is up, my bearded bros? I know this is not Madden. I have an update to do, and unfortunately, I cannot do it yet due to other situations I need to take care of first. So that's on the back burner. So we're doing the NFL game picks in NBA today. So don't mind the background. Just listen to me podcast style if you have to. Anyway, an update for you guys. I am not doing power rankings this week. Instead, I am doing a final regular season power rankings next week before the games. And then after that, we won't do a final power rankings after week 17. We'll do a updated playoff power rankings instead, featuring the 12 teams in the playoffs as of then. Just so you guys know about that, there will be no power rankings. Obviously, it's Sunday due to work. I wasn't able to upload this previously, and on Twitter, just like when I had my Thanksgiving vacation, I did post my game picks for yesterday, being Houston, New England, and San Fran. All three victorious, so that's good. But not including those, we are currently 138, 85, and 1. So with those three, we are technically 141 and 85 and 1. So not great, but we're improving. We're not doing too bad. So today we got New Orleans at Tennessee with no Derrick Henry in this game. I feel very confident in saying that I'm picking the New Orleans Saints here, especially with Michael Thomas chasing that record for most receptions in a season. I'm cheering him on. I believe he needs 11 today. I'm not sure if it's to tie it or to break it, but I'm hoping he gets 13. And then you got Baltimore at Cleveland. Cleveland upsetting Baltimore and sweeping them this year would be an epic storyline heading into the offseason, especially if Cleveland does manage to improve. That being said, I don't think that happens. I think Baltimore wins today, locks up the number 1 seed, and rests some of its players going into their postseason bye week. And then you got the New York Giants at the Washington Redskins. I'm picking the Redskins in this one because I'm an idiot and I trust I trust Terry to have 120 yards and a touchdown in this one. Should I? Absolutely not, but I'm crazy. If you want to change it to bold prediction, I think Terry's going to have 150 yards and 2 touchdowns, if you want to make it bold. And then you have Pittsburgh at the New York Jets. I'm picking Pittsburgh here, although the Jets defense does cause me some worry when going up against the Pittsburgh offense. I think they can make enough plays. The thing that worries me as well is the Pittsburgh defense necessarily against James Crowder and Ryan Griffin. I don't think they match up technically that well against the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. I think TJ Watt is also going to be a huge issue for New York, and I think it's going to be a close victory. I think it's going to be 20-17. And you have Cincinnati at Miami. I'm picking Miami in the upset because that would be absolutely hilarious if Cincinnati finished with only 1 win and Miami finished with 4 after starting out so bad. That would be huge. And you got Jacksonville at Atlanta. I'm picking Atlanta at home. I think the passing game will be a little bit too much for Jacksonville. Carolina at Indy. I think Indy will win this one. I think Marlon Mack's going to be a huge part of it. Detroit versus Denver. I'm picking Detroit on the road with Kerryon Johnson back. I think that will be a big part of it. Oakland at the Chargers. I'm picking the Chargers in this one at home. I feel like in this one it's going to come down defensively to Joey Bosa and Ingram if they can create enough pressures on Derek Carr. I feel like when Derek Carr gets pressured more, he doesn't just play worse, because usually most quarterbacks will play worse when they're pressured more. I think he becomes wildly inconsistent. He can play sometimes well when he's rushed, but it's always up and down, and I don't like up and down. I like consistency. And you got Dallas at Philly for the division. Not technically, I mean, it's like 50% for the division. If Dallas wins today, they lock up the division against Philadelphia. But if Philly wins, Dallas, I believe, still has a 22% chance to win the division, which means if Philly wins today but loses next week and Dallas wins next week, Dallas would still be NFC East champions at 8-8. I'll pick in Philly to win this one, though, because that would make next week much more interesting, and I like picking upsets. And you got Arizona at Seattle. I think Seattle's going to win this one. They obviously are still in contention for that number 1 seed. I believe next week they're facing San Fran, and that could decide the number 1 seed right there, which would be epic. Then you got Kansas City at Chicago. If Mitch Trubisky plays well, Chicago could very well pull off the upset here. I just don't think Chicago's rush centric defense matches up too well against the speed of Kansas City. I think that's where Chicago is going to struggle. Offensively, I don't think Chicago brings enough firepower either because Kansas City's defense has picked it up lately, and I think they'll play really well. Then you got Green Bay at Minnesota. I was going to pick Minnesota here until Dalvin Cook got ruled out, so I'm going to pick Green Bay on the road to lock out their division as well, leaving only a few spots to fight for next week. Anyway, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.